Lietuvoje, kur įmonė Klaipėda, sėkmingai čia gyvena daugiau metų laiko. Tai kadangi esame visi jauni žmonės, tarptautiniai, europiečiai, kolegijų ir universitetų studentai, prezentacija vyks anglų kalba. Aš manau, kad vertimo nereikės, o jeigu norėsit paklausti kažką, bus klausimas dėl vertimo, tai sakykit, ir dabar prezentacija Brar.
Morning. Unfortunately, I won't be able to speak in Lithuanian, but let's try. Labas. Okay, that's about as much knowledge of Lithuanian as I can speak in this room. But let's get started. So let's actually get started with who am I and why you should be listening to me right now. So I have been in IT business since 1998. When I was 13, I got started back then with the first .com boom. So I have seen two booms and two busts, in case you know the financial terminology. And I have lived in Germany, Sweden, and France before moving to Lithuania. And currently we have our offices in Lithuania, Germany, and India. And the focus is completely on IT and e-commerce projects. So that's basically about me. And I'll be honest, I know what you're thinking right now. What's a guy in IT business from India doing in Lithuania or even in Europe? Like, isn't India where everybody says all the IT businesses, where everybody outsources a program in and where all the genius programmers live? That's probably the first question I always get asked. And I'm here to clear some misconceptions and basically like why did I choose Lithuania to stay? So, let's get started. That's my country. And I hope you guys already know what the place is. It's a funky mixture of a lot of heritage, lot of differences in people, lot of different cultures, and a lot of different stuff mixed into one place. India is not just India. When you go from north to south, you are basically going from like almost one country to another. It's huge. And all kind of people live there. Now, IT part is something which has started since the year 1998 when a company called Infosys basically got started taking the American contracts. And when the first .com boom started, everybody started going crazy about India and all the brands started building. However, when you see from outside, when you read the media, when you read everything, the old saying comes completely true, that the grass is always greener on the other side. What you hear, what you read is just one side of the story. There's always a second side. And as an entrepreneur, or even as a regular person, you always have to think pragmatically. You have to take the facts and make your own decisions. So the fact is that in India, we have a lot of cultural differences, a lot of social pressures, the costs are rising. Now, first thing first, it may sound a bit weird to a lot of people in Europe, and it does. But the culture in India is that your family still controls your whole life. Like when you grow up, when you're living, when you're making important decisions in your life. At that time, your family still has a pressure on you, like what to do and how to make those decisions. Why are we talking about it? We'll just go there in a minute. And secondly, the new problems which are arising since everybody's coming to India from an entrepreneur's perspective is the cost of hiring and operating are rising a lot. The infrastructure is not as reliable and there's an illusion of talent availability. So let's get started. When I talk about social pressure, how many of you know anything about the thing in India called arranged marriages? Tell me. Great. So some people do actually. So basically how it goes, the kid is growing up, all of a sudden the family decides, oh, we want this kid to marry this person's daughter, or we want our daughter to marry this person's son. So basically the family makes a decision. That's the old Indian way of doing it. And somehow the value of your society or how are you living in the society is either determined by the family you come from or what kind of job you have. And what kind of job? People always go for the brands which are existing, like the American companies or let's say a European company. And that creates a social pressure for people to work for either Microsoft or Oracle or IBM or other high-end brands. And that brings, as a small business owner, a big problem of hiring good talent. Like if you are a good company, you'll get good programmers, you'll get good employees. But if you're a small company, you'll only get what has been rejected by everybody else. And now the second point is the unreliable infrastructure. You guys here are pretty used to 100 Mbps, 300 Mbps speeds, right? In India, having 1 Mbps is a big luxury. So 100 the speed at 5 times the cost. So that's another problem. And yeah, we still have offices in India. We still hire people. We actually have 2 offices in India. We outsource our own stuff too. But at the same time, it's much better to look at other places. Now, why Klaipėda? Before Klaipėda, or let's go back 1 year, I had not even heard of what the Baltic states are. I actually heard the word Lithuania first time in my life 1.5 years ago. And please don't beat me up after this presentation, like I see like 5 or 6 of you trying to follow to my car and trying to beat me up. You didn't know about the country. But it all started like about a year ago when the Lithuanian embassy in London contacted us and invited us to a presentation on why you should be doing business in Lithuania. And that was the first time actually we started looking eastwards. Like, okay, we have been working with Russia, we have been working with Ukraine for quite some time now, but not directly because surprisingly the quality of programmers which you can hire in East Europe is much higher quality than you can hire in Asia. Because the thing is, all the good programmers from Asia have been taken to America. They come, kidnap our best people, take them to America, and they don't return them. Even if we say like, okay, we're going to pay you money to return them, they don't. So, the first time I came to Lithuania was the first time I actually came to Klaipėda. Correction, the first time I came to Kaunas. Almost got scared of that place. Decided, okay, I'm going to take a one-way bus to Klaipėda and then don't return. So, the first thing that I actually saw here after visiting KMTP, because we used to operate from these offices, was an excellent infrastructure, the low cost of operation, and the fact that Lithuania is within European Union. I'm not sure how many of you actually appreciate this fact, that how lucky you are to be within the European Union. Because the kind of restrictions or the kind of limitations it removes are just amazing. And as a European, you have like, as a European company or as the European small business owner, you have huge advantage of internal banking, internal movement, and free trade, which you won't find by working from other East European countries or working from India or working from other places. So that's one huge advantage which made me choose Lithuania because of this part. Now, why Klaipėda? Because it's the perfect location and the people are awesome. You are located at a ferry port. If you look in the long-term perspective, this city is not going anywhere because there's a huge trade out here. If you're talking about Vilnius, it's a capital. If you're talking that small city in the middle, I'm not sure how long it's going to exist. But this place, good. And in my own experience, to choose living by the sea is an awesome decision. But at the same time, you have to remember one thing. You cannot think within borders. You cannot think, oh, I'm going to go to Vilnius after this and get a job and live there for my life. oh, okay, I'm going to go to England and I'm going to live there and try to get a random job and just try to survive. Because that's a common mentality in Lithuania that you see pretty often. The only way that I can tell you to succeed is to think without borders. And if you're thinking of job, great. We need you for jobs. We need somebody to work, but at the same time start thinking independently, start thinking freely, start thinking like an entrepreneur. Start thinking how you can make money somewhere else, freely, and how you can bring it back and live a good quality of life here where you really want to be. I'm not sure how long can I go on because I have to actually leave for Vilnius in about 10 minutes, and I want to beat Polius for keeping me kidnapped right now. However, there's one thing which you really guys should look into, starting your own online businesses. Doing something on your own, being more independent, thinking about stuff like affiliate marketing, starting your own e-commerce stuff. It's not that difficult. It's to be independent in your mind, to start your own stuff, to basically get started, do your own experiments. And do something, which will give you the freedom to be anywhere you want, be wherever you want, do whatever you want, and still make money. That's how online businesses work. That's how people out there are making millions and millions of dollars without doing anything. I'm not trying to make you a pitch, so if all of a sudden you guys went off like, oh, is this guy trying to make us a pitch? No. Because that's what I do. I basically run an online business. We have about 16,000 websites, and we have quite a few online projects, which is mostly automated. I can't really get into details right now. I would love to talk to somebody whosoever is interested. But remember that personally, my business is mostly automated. So I'm sitting here, standing in front of you, talking. But at the same time, my sites are working for me. My products are selling online. They're doing their own stuff. And I'm making money while I'm talking to you. I'll be driving, and I'll still be making money. Because it's all automated, it's all delegated, it's all, as a business setup, as an entrepreneur, you have to remember that you have to make the usage of others, you have to start taking risk and start delegating, you have to scale things up. And the last word is the most important thing, have complete freedom to do whatever you want, be wherever you want without worrying. So, that's it, and that's my email address. And if any of you have any questions right now, feel free to ask them.
Galbūt kas nors klausimas. Naudokitės progą, už 10 minučių išvažiuojate.
No questions.
Maybe later on.
Okay, in case anybody doesn't have any questions.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so as we love selling everything and etc. So what kind of projects do you have that we can implement here in Lithuania, or we can sell here in Lithuania?
Not sure if you really understand what kind of projects I have. Well, basically we're into online marketing. We do online projects with paid marketing, SEO, and stuff like that. So it's always a plug-and-play solution. So if you have anything which you can sell online, or any online promotions that you need to do, basically our infrastructure or our backend is mostly that we take up a product and start marketing it. If you know anything about affiliate marketing, so for example, online, if you need anything promoted, so we start getting the SEO rankings and we start managing your online advertising campaigns. So if you want to discuss specific details, just email me or call me up. Okay, in case anybody doesn't have, okay. Man, you guys are not going to let me run from this place.
Maybe you can a business card with
yes.
contact.
Sorry?
Maybe you can a business card with all contact.
I'll make it easier.